I tell you before, I've told you before about these group of guys that I grew up with, that once a summer we all get together and hang out. We all grew up in the same neighborhood in my small town in Louisiana. The name of the neighborhood was Village Green. And one of these guys they've all gone on to be very successful. One of them has just written a new book that could make your life, your home, your family better than ever before. And I'm excited because the first ever interview that he's ever done is going to be right here on Ace at Large. The book is called From Chaos to Peace. The author of the book is a guy that I have from the time I was 5 until the time I graduated from college. We attended the same school. He was my college roommate, elementary, middle, high school, and every year of college, we attended the same school. His name is Brett Quantrille. Hey, man, you there?
Yes.
There
Hello,
we go.
David. Hello, North Carolina. Hello. Good morning.
I am so excited about this. Brett is a licensed clinical social worker, and he's written a book that's called From Chaos to Peace, Hope and Direction for the Frustrated Parent. Now, this is something that can be used by any parent in any situation to make your life much easier, much better. So the whole thing is very exciting for me. So I'm probably going to screw this up as opposed to a normal interview because I'm really excited that this is a project that I know he's been working on for several years. But tell everybody, Brett, how the whole thing came to be, how you got started. What was the inspiration for developing this whole program and writing this book?
Well, I've always had a heart for children and teenagers, and my career has been dedicated to strengthening families. My family had its own challenges early on with our parenting, and that's really when the start of the development of the From Chaos to Peace program started. And my family became very efficient and peaceful after learning some different attitudes to take, for starters, as parents, and then learning how to implement some different skills like communicating differently or dealing with defiance differently. And so we were able to overcome some major obstacles in parenting, and I began to share it with people and, families in my private practice, and had some great results. In fact, hundreds of children and parents have had some significant improvements in their families due to the From Chaos to Peace program.
So, was this stuff that you pulled from your own personal experiences as you crafted this, or was it stuff that you found through research or in dealing with your clients and the families that you dealt with as a licensed professional social worker?
Well, I've been in the field for 20 years, and I've, a lot of this was trial and error. And, a couple of things that we realized that was really healthy for families was learning how to apologize when you made mistakes, and forgiveness, and those are some biggies, and I list, a lot of different what I call steps for peaceful living in Chapter 2. And that's really for all parents. And then, in Chapter 4, I talk about a couple of different skills that I just mentioned that are good for all parents to know as well, and that's communicating with your child. How to communicate. What's a proper way to communicate? Or what's an effective way to do that? And so, a lot of it was trial and error, but like for I'm kind of jumping around here a little bit.
No.
But the family check system, that's part 2 of it. A lot of that development of that came from my experience, professional experience, learning how to help families to develop behavior modification programs for their families. So personal and professional.
Yeah. So is the program just for people with young children, or is it something that if you've got a problematic teenager in the house and you feel like, well, this has gone too far and it's gotten out of control, will it work in that case also?
The program, I've divided up the program in 2 different areas, really based on the child's developmental level. So if the child is 3 to 6, you wouldn't want to develop a routine that had written tasks on it because
Right.
they may not be able to read. So you'd want to give them imaged tasks to do. And so I outlined that and explained that in my chapter on routine planning. But for older kids, I mean, you just the methods are similar, but they do vary a little bit based on their age.
So the delivery method is age appropriate then. So it'll work for any age. So the way the message is delivered to the child is age appropriate. So whatever works for that age child, it's the same basic message. You're just delivering the message to the kids in a different way based upon what they would react to at a certain age, which I think is really cool because then you're getting just the right plan for the age of your child. Does that make sense? That's the part that I liked about it, was that no matter what your child's age is, you've kind of broken it down into here's how you do this, here's how you do this for that age child in a way that you can communicate and relate to them at a specific age, which is really cool. But here's what happens, I think, and you know a lot more about this, but as a parent of two, I think people hear of things like this and they automatically think, oh, this is going to be overwhelming or it's going to be difficult. It's going to be hard to implement. How difficult is this, your program From Chaos to Peace, to implement in a family?
Well, it's very easy to implement, David. The hardest part for humans, just in general, I think, is just to make that decision. Once we make that decision that we are going to put the character of our children and make a priority of that, then the rest is just a matter of determination. So the process or the program that I lay out in parts 1 and part 2 of my book, it's very easy. It's very easy to read. It's simple to follow. And the reviewers, the people who have reviewed my book, they all say the same thing. So it's really just a matter of us getting moving from a place of making excuses sometimes to being able to say, you know what, I'm going to give something new a try, and I'm going to see if I can't get these same type of improvements, that Brett's talking about.
And there's no real this is one of the best parts in talking to Brett the other day that he was telling me about how this whole thing works. There's no real hard and fast timeline, right? You kind of implement at your own pace with what you're comfortable with and how you see things progressing?
Absolutely. The focus is more on getting first of all, implementing some of the steps to peaceful living, implementing some of those strategies and approaches first, getting reconnected with your child. That's a big issue, is that we're not connected like we need to be, just as a whole, I think, to our kids. And so getting connected emotionally is the first deal, that we can focus on. And then once we focus on that, then we can start, setting up what I call a family check system.
Yeah, and if you are a single parent, though, here's what I love. When Brett and I were talking on the phone the other day, is explain why not only does it work for a single parent, as many people find themselves to be these days, but sometimes this is a great point about it's even more effective sometimes for a single parent.
Well, it is. Single parenthood, as well as the marital marriages, each have its pros and its cons. But one of the pros to being a single parent, what I have found through my practice and through working with single parents, is that they don't have another spouse to undermine them. So that's a big deal. And so they can create the routine plan, and then the discipline plan and the reward plan. They can create that at their own pace and then implement it. So the focus is on getting it right, and then implementing it when you're good and ready to do it.
Right.
So that's going to vary from one parent to another. But yes, single parents, there's at least that advantage to being a single parent, is that you can lead your kids without any hassles.
Yeah, and the beautiful thing about this is when you go through the program, if you have young kids, you can establish this before you have any problems. If you have problems, you can establish this and change everything about your home. If you have a great family situation, there are still things in the book that you can use and utilize to make a good situation even better, great situation even greater. It's just a great set of ideas for you to use and implement in your home, no matter the situation. And it's a walk-through process. And the thing about it is, a lot of times I think people see this and they hear that there's a program. And they think, oh, what if I forget to do this that day? I'll get a day behind. Then I'll never catch up. It doesn't work that way. This, you work at your own pace to implement the ideas and the things that, and this is a guy who's done it and saw a change in his own family. And that's what inspired him after seeing that process work for hundreds of other kids. He was inspired to go out and write this book. So ultimately, what kind of changes would someone say? What can they expect when they read the book and implement the program? What kind of changes can they expect from the program starting to the time the program is completed, from chaos to peace?
Well, for parents, they're going to realize that they're a lot more organized. And, just in general, when we're more organized, we're going to be more peaceful.
Sure.
And we're going to be more calm. And that's kind of the goal for all of us, yes?
Absolutely.
So being more organized brings peace. And then parents are going to realize that they're going to feel more that they are an effective leader. And that's really what a big part of this is about. From my point of view, is to help parents to become better leaders, in their homes, to where they can be more effective and then shape the character of their kids and then have a happier life.
Right. And it's the thing I love about it, too, though, is the type of thing that you do that with the kid at an early age, and then they do that with their family, and it's the kind of thing that just keeps regenerating good things for families for generations.
Right.
It's the type of program.
As far as a kid,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
As far as a kid is concerned, a child is concerned, you're going to notice that they're more obedient. When you set up a structure like a discipline plan, and you set up standards, and you attach to those standards consequences, and then you let the kids know what to expect, that brings peace in a house. Mm-hmm. And so kids are going to become more obedient, more respectful, more cooperative, and that's kind of a big deal, for families. And then also, it takes a little while to work at it, but this program, once parents are organized, it'll help them to help their children be more polite. That's a good thing too, and also considerate. So those are some of the results that to look forward to.
So if you want to check it out, and I highly recommend it, from chaostopeace.com. To go there. How else can they get the book? They can download the digital copy. Tell everybody how to acquire a copy of it, Brett.
Okay, they can go to my website at FromChaosToPeace. That's TO.com. So it's FromChaosToPeace.com, and they can order paperback. And in fact, if they order today, I have a 20% off of $19.95, which brings it down to $15.96 today.
Okay.
And also, I can include an autographed copy today. So they can either get a paperback or they can get I have the Kindle version as well. That's available for Kindle users.
And this is the type of thing that works and makes your life at home just far better, far easier, far less complicated. I mean, literally, the title of the book says everything from chaos to peace. This has just been the coolest thing for me, and I'm very excited to have been able to do this. And obviously, I think it's going to be a great success. And I will talk to you soon, man.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Brett. Talk to you later. Again, from chaostopeace.com. Go check it out. That is